Welcome back to the CA Power Players podcast. Today I got my business partner, Landon McCarter, Security and Marketing in the house, in the building. What's up, buddy?
Dude, it has been a while since I've been in the studio.
Been a minute. My bad. We should have had you in here sooner.
It's
okay.
all right.
Here's why he's here. We have multiple things that are working really well. Number one, we have a life insurance lead program that got a recent 53% close rate that is video blended and digital. We'll jump into that in just a second. Another thing that's absolutely crushing it is advanced markets, a retirement funnel. We have multiple different advisors and agents that are closing $20,000 to $30,000 a week worth of commissions. I would say those are two things that are worth talking about. And if those interest you, you want to continue to follow along. Also, if at any point you're like, hey, I would like to talk to someone in your team about life insurance leads that are new and crushing it, that are not just Facebook, and even the retirement funnel for advanced markets, click the link in the description, securitymarketing.com/some words. Okay, so it's in the description. Click on that, and our team will talk to you about that. Landon, welcome back.
It's not just not Facebook. It's specifically not Facebook.
Yeah.
Facebook has its place, but Facebook has seen its day.
Yeah.
Back whenever you were doing your life insurance stuff with one group doing about $400,000 a month in 2016, you were one of the first
Correct.
guys to bring that. Over the last 3 or 4 years, we've seen just massive crowding of that space.
Yes.
We're elevating above that. Now, there's a place for Facebook, right? It's a real-time, exclusive, low-intent, cheap opportunity.
Yep.
Okay? But if you're looking for intent and real conversations with you have more money than time and don't want to just burn through a bunch of crap data leads,
Yeah.
there's other places to go to get that.
Yeah, and it's cool because if I think back and I think about the agents and I think about their time and like what they want to do, man, like I would prefer quality over quantity.
Yeah, so does the market because you don't want to waste your time. You know what I mean?
And there's a lot of people that are playing the quantity game, or they're like told to play the quantity game. It's like, dude, if you could throw a little bit more money at it, like why do that?
Cost per acquisition and then return on investment is really all that matters. 3 to 4x ROI is the benchmark that you really want to try to be at.
Yep.
But that means over enough time. So does that mean that your first week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks will be a 4x? Not necessarily. But also you can get a 10 or 12x, your first 4 weeks. So what we try to do is set expectations where the relationship isn't just a coin flip. Consistency is key, not just because we want consistent lead orders, quote unquote. The platforms are built to be consistent. The platforms are built to report back to the campaign what's converting so that the campaign can go find more audience that's converting along those lines. It makes sense?
Yes.
So it works so well that you can do lead orders, but it really isn't built to do that. And so if you can stay consistent with it, you'll be more successful.
Yeah, and continue to optimize too. I mean, one of the things that our team does well, for those that you should know this, but if you don't, my bad, okay? Or you're new to the channel, whatever, right? Landon McCarter is a business partner. We own Secure Agent Marketing. We have a marketing and leads company. That's actually in a separate building on the campus with about 40 different staff. And we are constantly innovating and creating and looking. And something you mentioned before, which is really cool, when you have 200 clients that are doing 7, 8, 9 figures, and making a ton of money, and they're giving you marketing budget and you're working with them and you're seeing what's working and you're even optimizing and creating what's working for those companies, it can help the individual agent out there from all the work that we're already doing.
Yeah, we don't have to promote Kool-Aid. So with any particular group, the top is going to be telling you kind of what is in their interest to promote, whether it's a particular product, whether it's a particular lead type, whatever it is. I can assure you there's not necessarily a conflict of interest, but there's a reason they're pushing you in one particular direction. What we're trying to do is we're independent of all insurance companies.
Yes.
Here's what's going on. Here's what's working. And I have a couple things that I would like to share with your audience on how to get the best return on investment with our marketing spend. I really have it narrowed down to a couple main points that I've seen because we are working with absolute killers writing $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 a week type people. So I have sort of some stuff I want to go through whenever we get to that point.
Yeah, you had, I think it was Cassandra, a really recent case study over on the marketing channel.
I got 20 of them.
That was crazy.
20 of them. $4,500 a budget, $45,000 in commission. That's a 10x ROI. Now, does that mean that every one of our clients are a 10x? That does not mean that, okay? But I do have some tips. Let me just go ahead and get into this if that's cool, all right? There's 2 main things that I see these life insurance and advanced markets producers separate themselves from the rest. The first concept is easy, okay? It is don't be a whale hunter and go around and only try to crush the big business and the big cases or whatever. I see this a lot with annuities and advanced markets and IULs, guys, or infinite banking or whatever, that they're so focused on the big case that they will step over the smaller case. Yeah. I can't tell you how many times a $50,000 annuity will come up because it's what's right for the client. Maybe a final expense policy is all that client particularly needs in that case. Maybe it's just a general term, simplified issue life, whatever. Okay. Mm-hmm. you're earning a customer. They're connected individuals. If you're doing your job with getting referrals, you're walking to the IULs and all this other stuff at an additional time after you've earned the customer. That small business sometimes can pay for the marketing to allow you to have the time to get the whales.
True.
If you are just constantly whale hunting, you're going to be frustrated.
Yeah.
Marketing does not work like that. Obviously, if I could only have, let's just call it on the annuity side. All I want landed is people that are 59 and a half and then have $250,000 waiting to spend, and roll over with me. Well, unfortunately, that's going to be a $2,500 lead. You know what I'm saying? Because all I'm going to have to do is throw away all the other leads. Why don't we just understand how this game works and just work with individuals that want to serve people and not are afraid of the small cases while they're getting to the big cases? That's a huge deal, man. A huge deal. Because then they just bounce around and try and find the next marketing thing that only brings them whales. It doesn't exist.
Yes.
It doesn't.
Yeah, it's a big piece. It makes a lot of sense too. Okay, so if you guys are listening, you're like, hey, dude, I want to just talk to the team and fill out what you have that's new, that you're innovating, that's working, that maybe had a recent 53% close rate, which is, we do have a recent case study of a buddy that he sold 8 out of the last 15 leads that y'all added with some really cool phone verification.
Yeah, let's talk about that. You want to talk about that?
Let's do it.
So one of the biggest problems with digital leads right now is that people are not giving the right number on purpose or whatever. And so what we're doing is we're actually validating the cell phone number of the individual that's actually seen the ad before the lead even touches. What that means is that we saw a video ad that talks about life insurance on my phone. I go through the form fill, and when I get to my cell phone number, I have to have a cell phone, not a landline, and it makes me text message verify a code that they've gotten. So the user has seen that video on their phone, they have verified their cell phone with their phone, and they have completed the lead form. Then we teach the agents to send a specific text message out that engages them early, and the answer rates and the close rates are through the roof.
That's wild.
Now it adds intent and adds cost, but it's worth it because you might already be sinking that cost anyways with leads that you're paying for that aren't giving you a correct phone number anyways. So it kind of ends up being a net neutral situation.
Yeah, I love that it's cell phone just because I love texting so much. I knew it was like phone verified. I didn't realize it was cell phone verified, which is even better. Also, what's cool about those digital blend leads with video is it says life insurance within the first few seconds of the ad specifically. We're not trying to hide anything, but there's 13 different data points that are manually being entered through a separate funnel. They're delivered immediately. They're also exclusive. Like, we're not sharing these. We could. I mean, they're that good. People, make some more margin, but that's not the goal. We're not doing that. They are 100% exclusive, which is nuts.
Yeah. Well, we're getting the name of the beneficiary. They're typing that in, right? So not only do they have a drop down that says what's the relationship to the beneficiary, they're typing in the name. So when little Susie is in that spreadsheet, whenever you get that lead, you obviously put that in the text message. We're also asking for the coverage amount, 50K, 150K, 500K, $1 million. So what you do is you send a text that says, hey, Cody, this is Landon with FFL, right?
Sure.
I'm just calling about the coverage you requested in the amount of $150,000 for little Susie. Would you rather talk in the morning or the evening? Any engagement that comes from that is an engaged user. I have people getting all the way to the quote via text message, okay? And then just basically calling once it's to the point of quote. Say, hey, it looks like your deal is going to cost about $70 a month. Can I just call you because I can't do this on text? And then it's like a 5-minute enrollment. It's freaking awesome, man.
So it's really what we're trying to do, and we got about another minute, is eliminating your need to dial 700 times a day and cold call and just beat your head against a flipping wall to succeed, right? Nobody wants to do that. So if you want to talk to our team at Secure Agent Marketing, click the link below in the description, jump on, book a call.
Sure.
What else should we add?
I want to make one more point. So a lot of times, one of the biggest ways to get a return on investment with your marketing dollars is there's a lot of life insurance individuals that either A, don't have a colleague in their network that they can have advanced markets conversations with, or B, are not working towards getting into the advanced market conversations themselves. One of the things that I would challenge, there's a big difference between a final expense and maybe some occasional life insurance producer in terms of amount of revenue that they're going to get from a lead opportunity versus a life insurance that sometimes sells FE that also gets into IULs and annuities. If you can get to either there's a person in your network that can help you with those cases and you can do a fact find to then open that conversation with that person, then do a rev share or split or whatever on that side, but eventually get to where you're crushing your own business that way. That's how you go from a 3 to 4x ROI to a 10x ROI because there's just more commissions associated with that.
Sure.
It's the same prospect. It's a life insurance conversation. You should be doing some sort of financial fact find anyways. And if you just know how to transition into IULs and annuities, you'll get your commissions through the roof that way. So what ends up happening is I can work with the final expense guy. That's great. We love those clients.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But really where I see the most amount of success is life insurance, selling some final expense, getting into advanced markets. You should be able to get 3, 4x, 10x your ROI on what you're doing if you can kind of navigate those waters.
Yeah. And just being a more rounded advisor and agent that can help people in a big way. You know, it's cool.
That's what I got, man.
It's nuts. I love that we're constantly innovating. I love that you and the team are constantly whipping up some secret sauce in the kitchen, in the lab, whatever you want to call it.
Sure.
Okay. But dude, thank you for jumping on the podcast.
Yep.
Thanks for being back in the studio. And thank you for helping out these agents with something incredible, good, that can help them make a bunch of money.
Let's do it, baby.
Dude, appreciate you, Kay. Thanks for listening to the podcast. Click the link below. Go talk to the team. Like, it's worth a conversation. It's worth testing out and trying it out, dude. And come back and leave a review and report back in the comments. Like, dude, this is working. It's working for numerous others, and it can work for you too. Thanks for listening. See you next time. Hey, if you enjoyed this, I got another one you're going to love. It's right there. Click on it. See you in there.
When I first joined and decided to kind of jump in, it was kind of 1 foot in, 1 foot out. And I remember being out in the field. I went to my first home, my second home, my third home, and it was by the end of that